All right, so we're about 2 weeks away from goslings hatching, and I want to talk about a couple of different things. First of all is getting ready for your goslings. Be prepared before they hatch so that you're not under stress when they are here and and peeping at you, because they grow fast and you want to enjoy every second you can with them. So I'm going to take a few minutes now and talk about my brooder setup. Now, most people have a traditional box, or we'll use a kiddie pool, shavings, things like that. I'm going to just say right here, right now, my geese are my babies, and so they get all the luxury that they can possibly have. So as you can see behind me and around me, I have a full converted sunroom. So it actually has a door, it has windows, so it's technically more of a living space than a sunroom now. This room becomes my brooder for my goslings. The whole room. Now the reason that I do this is because I am highly allergic to the pine shavings, and I don't really love using hay unless I have to. So while my flooring is a cement floor, I put down indoor-outdoor rugs. I also put anti-fatigue mats underneath these just to give it a little extra squish. It's good on my knees, and it's good for the babies. And it's good for the adults should they have an injury. So anti-fatigue mats get placed on the ground, covered up by at least one, if not two, indoor-outdoor rugs. And then I can just kind of peel off the layers, take them outside, and rinse them and wash them. I use baby mats all the time. These washable pee pads. You can get them in a variety of sizes. And so I will lay these down over my indoor-outdoor rugs. So technically with 3 layers, I have 3 days to work through so that I'm not constantly having to clean, every hour on the hour. The other thing that makes this possible are those baby gates. And I have a collection of them. You can see over here. I buy 1 or 2 sets every year, and then I throw away the ones that start to crack or break or that have been outside for other uses. But I keep these on hand all the time because it allows me to divide this room into spaces for the adults or for 1-week-old goslings versus 1-month-old goslings, as the case happened last year. So that allows me to be wildly flexible. I prefer the even flow pens because I can just separate out how many panels I need at the time. And then they have, if you don't know, they have like an A and a B on them. So you should be able to say an A here. And then if you keep it in an AB pattern, they fold down completely flat like you just saw. Now you know in advance when your goslings are probably going to hatch. They're usually 28 to 31 days out from when you start setting them, or from when your females start sitting, if you're lucky enough to have females that are going to do that. So I always have my food here ready to go at least 2 weeks in advance. I always feed the Missouri waterfowl starter, and then this year I'm going to try adding the 20% flock maker. I do know that it has niacin in it. Because I do feed the Kalmbach mini pellets as part of my adult flock, I thought, why not try this as well? I've never tried crumbles with my babies, but I'm sure they'll like it. So that's food. How I feed them, I use the slow feeder bowls that you can get for your dogs and cats. Obviously these are much better for when they're younger, and then as they get older, more rambunctious, these work really well. The reason that I do this is because if they're running around and they're, playing and chasing and doing things, they're not able to kind of flip these over, and they don't really track anything into them. Their feet just kind of go right over it. So they can't hurt themselves. Yes, sometimes they poop in them. That's my green-winged macaw. I apologize for that. So I highly recommend using some form of slow feeder bowls. They have Dollar Tree version ones, and I usually pick them up either at yard sales or Marshalls or Ross or something like that. So I keep it still pretty inexpensive. For water, I use deep dish bowls, and then I put these little, I don't know if they're wiffle balls or what they're called, but they have these holes in them. So I keep them filled with these balls, every bowl. And then the nice thing about this is the same idea. If your goslings just are running around and playing and being reckless and not paying attention, if they fall in, they're not making a big old splash mess. They're not getting overly wet, so it's not dangerous for them. And they can still get their beaks down in here to drink. So this is how I do my water. I've tried the milk jugs with a hole cut out of them. I've tried the gravity water dishes. Those don't work well for me. That's just my opinion. This has been my best solution, kind of converting what has worked for me, what doesn't. I also keep a pet camera in, so I can watch the babies if I need to see what's going on. For heat, I use a combination of these two things. So this is a radiant heat panel. I think they go up to like 120 or 140 degrees. So they do put a lot of heat out, and then I'll usually put like a baby blanket next to it or something soft and fuzzy so that they can kind of curl up and feel like they're cozy next to mom with it. But this has been a game changer for me. This is a reptile dome light, but it's been outfitted with a UV light on the top and one of the ceramic heat lights at the bottom. So it does have 2 on-off switches so that I can just turn them on and off as needed. I don't use the UV light all 24 hours of the day. I'll usually only put it on for maybe 6 to 8 hours a day. And then I hang it fairly close to the ground so that it has a frame, but so that they can be close to it without standing up and getting hurt by it. And the babies do really like this. And it also puts a fair amount of heat around so that, I can put it here and then they can still run out here and still kind of feel the heat, but not be right underneath it, not feel as intense. I try to give my babies lots of room to run and play and to escape getting too hot, but not getting so far to get too cold either. So that's what I use for heat. And I think I have my Amazon links to these so that you guys can get the same ones if you want to. My final recommendation, toys. Toys, toys, toys. So I collect a whole box of them. And here's why I love baby toys. They all have these little, hooks on them so that you can hang these from the baby gates. You can swap them out and throw them in the washer. Super easy. Lots of colors, lots of textures, lots of things for them to chew on or play with. And then again, I can just wash them super easily if they get pooped on and give them all new toys. So I collect toys, again, all year round, yard sales, Ross, Marshalls, and I try to refresh them all the time for them. My babies do have some favorites. So whenever I see those, I do. Like this little activity cube, I think I've gone through like 6 of these. For whatever reason, they love these little cubes. There's a smaller set. I think it's over here somewhere. Here's another one. So again, like a little mirror and just things for them to just come and chew on. And it's about their size and they can't hurt themselves. So highly recommend toys. Now, since I mentioned mirrors, baby mirrors, these are your best friends. I'm just going to say it. If you have a solo gosling, if you have a sick gosling, giving them a baby mirror, even though it doesn't seem like much, really changes their morale. All of my solo goslings will sit curled up at my feet next to a mirror. They just love them. Jellybean, my special needs goose, she comes in, she takes a nap in Dad's room with him, right next to her baby mirror. She just loves it. So if you can find these things on sale or, in yard sales, there are a variety of different kinds. Get them, save them. They love them. Hope that helps you with your brooder setup.